It's a quick fix. Hello everyone, welcome back to Fix the Family. My name is Raylan Alama and we are bringing you truth without compromise for the family. We are this weekend, today is October 1st, 2017, and this weekend we are right outside of Culpeper, Virginia at the retreat center, the conference center, Longlea Conference Center. And I believe what they're telling me behind me is the Blue Ridge Mountains. And we've been invited out here to spend the weekend on the Fatherhood Workshop, which is being conducted by one of the Opus Day centers, the one out of Washington, D.C., the Reston Study Center. And they're putting on the Fatherhood Workshop this weekend for 2017. So I wanted to share with you a bit of a recap of the weekend, some of the takeaways, some of the contributions we were able to make. It was a very jam-packed weekend of a lot of good information. It's good to see so many hungry young fathers here, just starting out, just looking to learn and getting some tips from those of us who have been through it already and been doing some of it. So first of all, we started off with just making our children lifetime learners and what that's all about. And in conjunction with that, what I have found is that no matter what our interest is as dads, our children are going to want to follow along with the things that interest us. You know, so and right along with that, reading and learning. And so as fathers, we should have that interest in learning the important things of life, learning the faith first and foremost, and being able to pass that on to our children, but also the other components of morality and family life and the things that are important with that and that go along with it. And whenever we are excited about that, when we're enthused, that's what gets their attention. They want to be like us. You know, kids want to be like their dad, want to be like their mom. And so the dad also has to have that enthusiasm. One of the examples I was giving you know, people, they were saying, you know, sometimes I'll hear people say, well, you know, take your kid fishing, it's great. Well, if you like fishing, that's great, but if you like something else, take them along for whatever it is that gets you on fire, whatever makes you come alive, because what the world needs, as John Eldredge says, is men that have come alive. And so we're looking for things that will enthuse us so that the children can pick up on that. Spend a lot of time on work-family balance, or harmony, as one of the men said. You know, it's not going to be completely imbalanced, but to try to make sure we're covering all the bases. So the important thing there, we always have to remember, is that, okay, men are called to work. It's part of the fall. You know, it's part of our responsibility. We have to provide. But that our work, sometimes it'll get more busy or busier than other times, but it always, always, always should be at the service of the family, not the other way around. The family shouldn't be at the service of the job. If it becomes that way, then we need to start looking for another job, looking for another form of income that is going to allow us the time that we need to be at home to connect with our wives, to be able to mentor, father, discipline our children, be there for them, and help to educate them. Okay, now a little shift of scenery here so that we can see the front of this beautiful building here. So this is Longlea is actually a replica of the Longlea building that is out there in England. So it's an English style building we have here. But continuing on about the Fatherhood Workshop where we're participating, getting into the lines of leadership in the family and disciplining of the children. And then there's various views on the best types of discipline, and there's going to be, you know, some different things that can be incorporated. But whatever the case may be, as far as that goes, is that one thing that we found that has been extremely effective is the whole idea of first-time obedience. And that can be started to be as a form of training with as young as between 1 and 2 years old. They learn first-time obedience. They can be told to do something once. They have to obey, and if not, then there are repercussions. And because it's done at such a young age, that becomes a habit, that becomes their formation up into the older years, even through the teenage years. It's always a rule in our home, first-time obedience. Once the children get older, they know what their responsibilities are typically in a given day, what their basic chores are going to be, the things that they have to do every given day. So they really shouldn't need to be told. But we're all human beings. A lot of times adults need to be told what to do. So we can empathize with our children and say, okay, mom has to tell you, if dad's not present, to do thus and such. First-time obedience, they should immediately, yes ma'am, and go do it. If that doesn't happen, repercussions. The only problem being is that, yes, mom is sympathetic. Why? Because by her nature, women are made to be emotional, made to be sympathetic so that they can have babies and rear them and have children. So sometimes that doesn't always get enforced. So that's where dad has to come in and say, okay, why do we have this behavioral problem? And we'll find out that, oh, maybe mom is giving some chances. Well, mom, we shouldn't be giving chances, right? We remember that? It doesn't work. So it might seem nice, but it really turns out not nice at all, because then things start to escalate beyond that first time. So we want to keep things nice, calm, peaceful around the home. Fun still, but still at a moderate level of peace and harmony throughout the home. The importance of discipline is when it's not there, that's the reason that families, couples will give for not wanting to have more children. They can't handle the ones they have now. So we have to make sure that we have obedient children. That way we'll be open to and can handle and be wanting to have more, and to have that fruitful marriage that God intended for us to be, bringing children into the world and increasing his family and his kingdom. I had the pleasure of giving the topic of romance in the marriage, and it was a repetitive theme throughout almost all of the talks of dads. We need to make sure that we're there for our wives. We give them our undivided attention on a consistent basis, kind of like when we were courting. You know, that it might not be able to be to that extent, but we need to force that time in there, make that big rock commitment of making sure we have that time for her consistently. I like something weekly to have a night to ourselves, a date night. Not everybody can do that, or it really can be done, actually. It doesn't have to be a date out. It can be just a time set aside of undivided attention. But as the gentleman just said, I mean, they need to know that they have we choose them, they have our love is sincere, they have our heart, and it's mainly primarily on our wife, the person who's supposed to be the most important person to us on the planet, who we share a sacrament with, that's supposed to image the Trinity, that is the source of grace. It's sacred, it's important, it requires the commitment of our time. And then we went on to talking about communication. And so there were some things I also incorporated into my presentation about communication. This is really what the ladies want. We might have men have our physical needs, but the ladies want to communicate. They want to make an emotional connection with us. That's what resonates within them. And a lot of times they won't want us to fix it. They'll want us to just hear what's on their mind, what's on their heart, the things that are bothering them, even if it's repeated, even if it's something they've already told us. You know, they'll want to still voice that, to still express that concern, and it just takes some patience and attention for us to hear them out and to just be there for them in that need of theirs that they have. And then finally today we talked about the heart of the Father, and how we need to spend time with the children as well, and sometimes it might be just in our day-to-day responsibilities. You know, the important thing to remember there is it's not going to be efficient. It's going to slow us down. You know, if we need to go to Lowe's to get a light fixture, to get something a piece that broke, bring the boys along, especially. You know, let them ride on those loud carts and things. It's going to take a little while longer. is going to delay us. You know, we could be efficient and do it a lot faster on our own, but the heart of the dad, wanting his son there along with him, just to see the responsibilities of day in and day out of how to care for a home, how to care for a family, maybe even bringing them to work sometime, if whatever works in your case, letting them see what you do. You know, what are you doing all day, every day? And then especially with the work outside around the house, you know, getting them involved with that. And then again, being there to discipline is one thing, but there's also the mentoring, the teaching, you know, those teaching moments that dad can be involved with just in day-to-day life. So lots of good information, lots of good takeaways from the 2017 Fatherhood Workshop here at Longlea Conference Center, right outside of Culpeper, Virginia. We're recording on location. Come back and see us. God bless you.